welcome back to the Next Up Haunted Adventures podcast. I'm Shelby.
I'm Tony.
And today we're going to discuss the controversial extreme haunts in America.
So listener discretion is advised.
This can get pretty scandalous.
Ooh.
So what have you heard about the extreme haunts? What do you think an extreme haunt is?
Extreme haunt, to me, like when I hear the term extreme haunt, it just kind of makes me think of a lot of blood, a lot of like weaponry coming close to your face, a lot of darkness, and adult content. Am I close?
You're close, but you're not hitting the bar.
Oh, jeez.
It is far beyond what you said.
Oh, wow. Okay, so it's even further than that.
Yes, so the range, it varies obviously between owners.
Right.
So we'll start with the most mild of the extreme haunts in America.
Okay.
And that one is known as Haunted Hoochie in Columbus, Ohio.
Okay.
I've been there. I got a
Right.
VIP pass because I didn't want to spend... They get an insane amount of people every year.
Uh-huh.
And the line when we got there was an hour before open, and they already had a 3 to 4 hour wait.
Yikes.
So I spent the extra money for a VIP pass, the very first time in my life I've ever done so. And it was worth it. But we're not here just to talk about haunted.
No.
We're here to talk about why it was extreme. So
Talking
Haunted
about the
Hoochie,
content.
there's haunted houses that classify that they will touch you.
Right.
Haunted Hoochie doesn't care where they touch you.
Ooh.
So, and also they use riding crops in there for some of the actors. So they will smack you with those in the rear end area.
Well, yeah.
They have fake chainsaws they'll rub against your leg. They're very big on that, and that was kind of one of my complaints, is they overdid it a little bit.
Ugh.
And they have actors on both sides of the wall, in the ceiling, and on the floor who are there to grab you from every angle that they can, including your hair, your face, your shoulders, your legs, your hips. Like,
No,
they're not really afraid to...
No, okay, so we're not going there at all.
I won't take you there. It was like, I imagine being there is the equivalent of being in a Rob Zombie movie while tripping on acid.
Oh, jeez. So there was a lot of mommy issues.
Yeah, you could say that. They had a lot of very mature content. I think you have to be 21 and up. It may only be 18.
Well, that makes sense, because if you're going into some area that you're allowing yourself to be touched, you can't get away with that as an actor for doing that to like even like a 17-year-old.
Yep.
So you would want someone that is technically an adult. So an 18 and up type of a haunt is what you're getting at with an extreme haunt.
Yep, and that's number 10 on the list.
What?
10 being the lowest.
Oh no! What?
So, Haunted Hoochie being extreme, I still had a great time.
Right.
Because they didn't really push the bar any more than touching you and maybe smacking you with a riding crop once or twice.
Yeah, but they're gonna hit you in like the fattest part of your body.
Yes,
so.
they're not there to hurt you. They're there to make your skin crawl a bit, and they implemented a lot of tactics that, although very adult in nature, were very interesting done. It was very interesting to see it done.
Right.
It was one of the best haunted houses I've went to because it was it's like you were in a movie.
Okay.
And you were experiencing horror firsthand.
Right.
However, yeah, not family friendly. It will never fall under that. They did a beautiful job. I can only imagine how long it took them to set up initially.
Right.
And they've been around for a long time, but just going into a room is like, this is a lot of money. However, being on the lower end of the haunts,
right.
I personally haven't went beyond that.
Okay.
I don't desire to go beyond that level, because then there's places like McKamey Manor, who's ranked number 1 out of most extreme haunts in America. They get away with what they do because they're nonprofit.
Oh, okay. So.
And the original one got closed down from my knowledge, but there are 1 or 2 others that are opened up, and they're open. One of them at least is open all year round, so people can basically. That one you have to sign. There isn't there's you have to sign a contract. However, they do start messing with you before you're fully signed that contract.
That's a bit strange. Well,
and
do you have to like buy a ticket previous to
No.
sign it? Okay, so that's just no. That's not okay.
There's no money exchange. You drop off a bag of dog food. They donate to a local shelter.
Okay.
And you're essentially signing the contract. They're already kind of pushing you out. And if you chicken out, there is no chickening out. There is no. They will hunt They will hunt you down with their van across the neighborhood, drag you up, tie you up, and take you back to the haunted house.
Not okay. I don't like this.
They had one guy had a heart attack.
Well, yeah, that sounds like it would cause someone to have a heart attack.
But because it's nonprofit, they're not required to have EMS on staff.
Jeez.
This, from the best of my knowledge, I mean, this is stuff that, maybe they changed this season or last season recently. They could have changed recently, that maybe they're going to make it safer.
Okay.
I personally doubt it, because the amount of money already going into this haunt, it's a strain on the owners. So I don't know, really, it has to be something that they enjoy keeping up. This isn't a thing that's going to, this isn't a profit thing. They're not making money.
They're not making money off of it.
But they've gotten a lot of flashback,
Right.
They get their name around, and it's not always positive. Most time it is negative, but it's still publicity for them, and they're still getting people. And other haunt owners have expressed concern that they're going to go out of business because of haunts like McKamey Manor and Blackout.
Right. Well, yeah, because it kind of, I would assume, gives everybody in said business or said game a bad name. I don't. That's just awkward to me. That hearing a story about you drop. It sounds like it's for a good thing, but you're dropping off dog food or some sort of canned good or whatever to go to donation for something like that. At that point, if I wanted to stay or not, that's my choosing. But you're not gonna. I'm gonna call the cops and be like, hey, these people chased me down and dragged me back to a place I didn't want to go to.
Yeah.
There's so many more other implications to doing that, and that sounds like a too extreme haunt than it does sound like a extreme haunt.
So
it's ridiculous.
I would never do these sorts of haunts just because my personal health would be at stake, and I already have
a bad shoulder.
I have a bad shoulder. I have ligament issues. I do have some neurological issues already.
Right.
I'm able to attend regular haunts. I'm able to attend semi-physical ones like Haunted Hoochie, but I can't go above that, and I wouldn't want to, because the level of pain on occasion inflicted in some of these haunts, and it's not all physical, it's also mental.
Oh, yeah.
The psychological aspect is almost real, because they're legit hurting you. They're making you eat weird stuff, drink weird stuff. They're making you strip naked. They're simulating rape.
Okay, that's not okay. Okay, no.
And people have come out with, not necessarily from McKamey Manor, but from other ones with broken arms and cuts from these places. And some of the people have to be taken away by EMS.
Right.
And not always because of physical damage, because some of them, it's something psychological, and they have a breakdown.
And they go into shock, I would assume.
Yeah, and some of the people who go in are ex-military who think they can handle it, and they end up not being able to handle it psychologically.
Right.
And yes, it can be said that they took the risk signing up. They knew the risk going into it. That they could look up videos online. McKamey Manor has so many online. He loves to record every victim that goes in there, and he loves the screaming.
Right, but there's a personal code that you have to because you have to have some sort of humanity and take care of your neighbor, So damn, dude, I can't. No, that's not okay with me.
So with Blackout, it's more regulated because it is a run for profit. So they fall under the Better Business Bureau, whereas McKamey Manor doesn't because it's nonprofit.
Right.
So because they do, obviously, if something happens, they're going to have EMS there.
Right.
They're going to have police there if necessary. They make sure people know what they're getting into when they sign up, and if they do want out, there is a safe word for them. Whereas McKamey Manor, there is no safe word.
I was going to say,
and they're supposed to be as of a year ago, but from my understanding, most of the actors do not abide by that anyway.
Oh, jeez.
So that's a little bit of an issue there. Well, I guess a big issue, because you should at least have a safe word for the people who are coming to visit your experience. They're coming there for an experience.
Right.
But it's not really fun if, at that point, they're terrified to the point where they're gonna maybe die.
Well, yeah, when fight or flight kicks in, it's not okay. From my experience with talking haunts and stuff like that with you and other people, it was never. I was afraid for my life. I was scared, but the adrenaline, it was fun. I would never want to do that, and I would hope nobody. I understand that there's thrill seekers and adrenaline junkies out there that want to do that kind of stuff, but I can't fathom wanting to do that in your life.
Yeah.
But, you know, that's just me. But also, when it comes to that type of stuff with like the actors going into it for their self, that just doesn't seem right, and that could also cause bigger problems for the owners. So it's a whole ball of craziness that I don't want to partake in.
Yeah, I don't want to partake in it either. Some people do. Thousands upon thousands of people actually
Apparently,
do.
Right.
However, if they're willing to sign essentially their health away, then they're allowed to do so.
Of course.
They know, as long as they know the risks.
It's their right as American.
Yeah. As long as they know the risks, I would prefer people like that as like at least go to one that's regulated. You
Right.
may have to pay money.
Still, I would much rather pay for an EMS than to have to take care of it myself.
Yeah. So that's our opinion. I'm sure we're gonna have even maybe another episode eventually on talking about this more as I equate Tony with more of the websites of Blackout and McKamey Manor and some of the other more extreme haunts that are in America. Ones. Oh yeah. And we're not talking about the paranormal ones. Like these are just real like base torture. You're going there to get tortured. That's what it is. And that's not fun. That's not the Halloween fun I'm seeking.
No.
And I don't think this is the Halloween fun most people are seeking. But we'll elaborate a little bit more on that. Yeah. It's just kind of hard to keep talking about it because it does get...
It can get dark.
It gets very dark.
Right.
It's a rabbit hole we don't want to jump down.
No, but what we probably are going to talk about next time is the types of people that go to haunts, as opposed to the sadists that go to extreme haunts.
Yeah, we'll talk about the people who aren't necessarily, I don't want to say normal, but people who go to the regular haunts, family, touch base haunts, and the likes that are not considered extreme. We'll talk about that next time.
Yeah.
Peace out.
Bye.